Where did you go for the bye week?
Just down to my place in Arizona.
When you get the guys back after a week, what do you focus on a skate like this?
Get them up and running. Get them up and they're all giddy, happy to be back and rested, but you got to get them up and running again. You know, most of them haven't skated in a week or so. Surprised to see Connor and Leon show up this morning. They flew in this morning, and I didn't have them on the early practice list, and the trainers came to me and said, Connor and Leon are here, and they said they're both skating. So that's good to see. So they got out there and jumped into things, which is positive.
Speaking of Connor, I know you had some clips in that documentary as well. I don't know if you saw the finished product, but your journey with sort of getting the updates throughout the summer and camp, and now we all know what he went through.
You know, I knew he was. I mean, the rehab he was going through was unbelievable. I mean, the things he was doing, the people he was working with. You know, I didn't know the extent of it, and I haven't seen the documentary yet. But you know, it's a pretty amazing story when you go through it and you hear the different options, and the option he chose was probably the toughest option for him to go through, but the shortest amount of time. So him willing to put that work in it's an amazing feat on his part that it turned out the way it did.
When did you really think, okay, on opening day, I'm going to have his name on the lineup?
You know what? I didn't know much about it. I talked to him. I met with him in August, and went out to Toronto. I met with him, chatted with him there, and he said we're just going to keep working at it. Got to training camp. We talked about exhibition games, and he said I'm ready to play, and the doctors weren't saying that, so he wasn't going to play. But you know, it didn't come down. Maybe that last week of training camp, talking with the doctors and with Connor, that he wanted to try an exhibition game, and then he got in 2 of them, and he felt pretty good. So just it's hard. There was no timeline ever, but until he decided it was time that he felt good enough to play.
Does he ever talk about or kind of reflect on how stressful that was? You know, because he did
No.
have a big decision to make.
No, he just goes about his business. Kind of a private guy that way, that puts the work in, and we all see the results.
How do you get the guys back up to speed? Like, what's the strategy in terms of practice? Is it 3 hard ones, 2 easy ones?
No, well, we practice tomorrow at the mall. So today was get everybody up and running. Tomorrow we'll do some competitive small ice thing, and then Tuesday we'll come in here and really gear up for a good practice. So the guys all want to skate 3 days. We'll just we'll mix it up a little bit. But today you saw the drills, lots of just back and forth. Sneaky bag skate today. Yeah, just because it's a 2-on-1 doesn't mean you're not working.
You know, you have your segments and all of those things, but it's a complete restart now, right? Everybody's tied. Zach Gassi says kind of like when we started the lockout, played 40 games, you know. Do you have some segments figured out? Do you have some plan to?
Well, you get to know, like, we're at a point now where we talk about we got ourselves in the game, right? The game, the second half is, somebody asked me this morning, like, where do you think we're at? I said, basically, I've never seen it this close within a division, and your stretch drive starts a month early. It's basically what it comes down to right now, right? So every game, the importance of every game, every point is going to be magnified, because the standings are going to jump around every day, and if you're involved in that, it's great that you're in it, but you got to take care of yourself. So you know, the first part of the year, you get to know your team, you get to know what you do well, things you got to work on, and areas where you think you can be successful. And so all those segments we've done, you know, you continue to learn about your group, but now these games get tighter, and you know, every play counts. You can't have soft nights. You can't, you know, you need everybody to contribute, and those will just be magnified because of the importance of every game.
Is there any concern that you won't be able to pick up right where you left off because you were maybe playing your best hockey of the year when the break?
There's always concern from a coaching point of that, and there's concerns on both sides. There's individuals who I thought were playing well. It's that they jump back into it, and as your whole group. But the good thing about it is the teams coming out of it are in the same boat we are, to get up and going. So when you're having success, you feel good. You're on a roll, but I always talk about that confidence or that success is earned. We got to get back to earning it right now, and good schedule. I mean, jump in. You got Calgary, St. Louis, Calgary, Arizona right here. This is good. This is the fun part of it.
Dave, did you learn anything from December in that schedule that you could apply to February and March?
Yeah, you learn a lot through adversity. You learn a lot about your group, who handles it well, who's you learn a lot about players especially players that I don't know, how they handle adversity, how they work their way out of it, and just how you go about treating them, So you learn a lot about your team and about individuals, and you maybe recognize a spot where a guy's struggling a little bit. It's easier to get him out of it quicker, or recognize things a little quicker. So anytime you have down times like that, it really tells a lot about your team, kind of in behind the scenes, and you can use that adversity or that, just those down times as real springboards going forward.
Did you see any of the All-Star game?
I saw the first game, maybe the first period, and then I went to the airport and got on a flight, and I wasn't just standing there waiting for the second period to come on. But that was the first game. I heard the third game was much better.
Have you ever run a practice in a mall before?
I don't think I have, no.
Did you practice in a mall in Hartford?
No. The rink was attached to a mall, but that was a big rink, That'd be, it's going to be new. I've been in that mall once, I think, so that was a short distance walking into a store and out again, so I'm interested to see what we get tomorrow.